Giddy up now.
Well, welcome to Armadillo, Mr. Marston.
Thanks.
It'd be a fine town if it wasn't for all those outlaws and undesirables and such.
That's true of pretty much any place, Jake.
Yeah, I guess it is. You don't look much like no Blackwater fella.
That's because I ain't.
If I'm being honest, I don't care much for those highfalutin big city types. Not much at all.
Blackwater ain't much of a city. More of a town with delusions, but no, me neither.
A fella told me he was out in Blackwater a few months back and saw one of them newfangled carriages without horses.
Is that so?
And you wind them up like a clock. Damnedest thing ye ever saw without the aid of liquor, he told me.
Times are changing fast. That's for sure.
So who's this friend you're looking for?
Nobody you need to concern yourself with.
Never you mind all my questions, Mr. Marston. I just reckon you might be barking at a knot heading for the fort.
We'll see when we get there.
Well, I sure as hell ain't sticking around. Fort Mercer ain't no place for an old man like me to be a dawdling around. Gee up.
That's our general store if you need to pick up any supplies.
I think I'll pay my debts to you before I start spending any more money.
This is our horse corral. Paul's very proud of it.
I can see why.
You should watch us break the Broncos sometime. I'm sure a city man would find it fascinating.
I'm sure he would.
There's the train station up ahead.
That must have its advantages.
You'd think, but the railway's done more harm to us than good. Yeah!
Come on.
There's our barn. Survived many a harsh winter, that has. It's a sad state of affairs when a rancher has to spend her nights patrolling the perimeter.
Are things really that bad?
It's gotten so bad in the last couple years, everyone around here is armed. If only the rabbits were the worst of our problems.
Well, from my experience, a rancher's work is never done. Whoa, whoa.
That was some fine work.
Glad to be of assistance.
But I know you ain't doing all this purely out of the goodness of your heart. I think my father and the marshal will be able to help you.
I'd sure appreciate that, Miss McFarland.
How well do you know New Austin?
I don't. We talked about coming down here many times, but never made it.
Who's we?
Me and the folks I used to work with. Yeah, New Austin. The last real outlaw country, where the old ways still hold true. Do a man wrong, he'll shoot you for it. Do a man right, well, he still may shoot you for it. But at least you have an idea of what's right and what's wrong there.
Dear, oh dear, Mr. Marston. What dreadful novel did you get that romanticized drivel out of? Those days are long gone, if they were ever here at all. According to Paul, those days were just people shooting each other because they lost at cards. We'll be lucky if our ranch survives another 5 years. Businessmen are the new cowboys. You look like a man who's been through the mill.
Thank you.
I mean, you've lived some life. I'm 27 years old and I have rarely left Hennigan's stead. Although many years ago we did briefly employ a French governess. Well, I think she was French. She said she was French, but she spoke Russian. That was when Paul thought I would become a lady.
A change of pasture doesn't always make for a fatter calf.
I know, and I wouldn't change my life for all the money in the world. I'm just saying, sometimes I wish I'd been, well, braver. Been to more places, seen more things.
If you ask me, it usually takes more strength to stay than to run, Miss McFarland.
I always enjoy a trip to Armadillo.
Sure is a pleasant journey.
It used to be such a nice town before that gang started helling around the place, causing all that trouble, shaking down the local merchants, kidnapping, and worse.
That's what I heard.
It's a terrible shame if you ask me, and there's not a man with the gravel in his gizzard to stand up to them.
What about the marshal?
Well, he's doing what he can with what he's been given, I suppose. Yeah!
If you don't mind me asking, why ain't you married, Miss McFarland?
Clearly, you haven't met too many of the local men. A woman would have to have taken leave of all her senses to find them suitable matches. I guess I'm married to this ranch, for better or worse. And I'm too old now.
Oh, you're a small-town snob who thinks she's better than everyone else.
Absolutely. And second to Mr. Young, you are
How
our
are you,
century's
Miss McFarland?
finest psychoanalyst.
Yeah!
I must apologize for my father. He certainly ain't tongue-tied when it comes to his opinions.
And what use is a man without the confidence of his opinions?
I agree with most of them.
And don't even get him started on the railways. He blames them for everything.
They were supposed to open us to a whole new world. Instead, they just opened our world to a whole lot of new folks hell-bent on changing it.
It ain't the 19th century no more, Pa. And I'd rather sit in a seat for 3 hours than spend 3 days in the saddle.
A lot of promises were made and broken. That's all I'm saying. Something our government excels in. We sure ain't feeling all the benefits they were supposed to bring.
Come on, you stubborn old fool. Let's go rope some horses just like in the good old days when life was hard and everyone felt justified in shooting each other.
In many ways, my wife is kind of like you, Miss McFarland.
Is that so?
She's always been a woman in a man's world.
You don't talk about her very much.
It's kind of painful, but she's never far from my thoughts.
How'd you meet her?
She was an orphan, too. Fell in the same bunch of reprobates I did. She did what she had to do to survive, same as I did. Can't wallow with the pigs without getting a little dirty. But she's a good woman, a strong woman. That gang was the closest thing to family she ever had.
Well, now she has her own family.
Not right now, she doesn't.
Paul will be real happy if we can wrangle some horses. We've got bills stacked up like bales of hay.
Well, might as well strike while the iron's hot. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
There's too many folks too careless with their irons around here. That's the problem. We do all the work, and the rustlers get fat off of it. All you can smell around Pike's Basin is burning rawhide.
You just leave them brand artists to me, miss.
How are you today? Thank you for helping. This is above and beyond the call of duty.
I believe in paying my debts, miss.
I know, and I admire you for that. So long as you know there's a big difference between paying debts and bearing grudges.
What do you mean?
I mean this business with Bill Williamson. Doesn't take a very big man to bear a grudge.
That ain't a grudge or a debt. It ain't even payback. It's something I'm being made to do. That man ain't nothing to me.
I think I can see a herd up ahead. We need to be quick about this. No messing around, okay?
I don't want to be out here any longer than we need to be.
I'm gonna save my voice for the herd. It's gonna be hard shouting over this storm. What a stupid man.
I'm sorry?
My father. Stubborn as a mule. He knows not to go off without telling anyone. He should have taken me with him.
A man like Drew ain't gonna ask his daughter for protection.
Well, he should have taken you then.
I'm not gonna be around forever.
And if you carry on cavorting about like you are, you won't be around for very much longer at all. I don't know. If I had $1 for every stupid man I've
We'll
met...
find him, miss. Don't you worry. Are you all right, Miss McFarland?
I worry about him more than I should, I know.
That's 'cause he raised you right.
He's getting forgetful, and there's an anger in his eyes that was never there before. All the problems of the ranch have taken a toll on him. I swear he's aged 10 years in the last 12 months.
I'm sure things will take a turn for the better soon.
I wish I shared your optimism. The world's changed. New Austin's changed. People can order everything they need out of a Spalding's catalog and get it delivered right to their door. Between Pike's Basin and Thieves Landing, it's a miracle there's any food left on the table.
You're talking like this ranch is already buried. You're surviving. Things aren't that bad.
Rustlers, smugglers, and thieves don't make for the best neighbors. I don't feel safe in my own bed anymore.
I won't let anything happen to you, miss. Where do you think he's headed?
They use Twin Rocks as a base. They got hideouts all over. Walton ain't stupid enough to stay in one place for too long.
He sure looks stupid enough for anything.
He's a slippery son of a bitch, all right. And crazier than a peeled rattler. If you want to stay alive, Marston, you need to start learning not to trust that judgment of yours.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what I mean. What are you doing back there, Marston? I'm warning you, Marston. I ain't normally in the business of hired guns, especially government boys. If you want my help, you do as I say.
If that deputy of yours is anything to go by, you'll need all the help.
Just don't get any funny ideas. We're doing this my way.
With all due respect, Marshal, it doesn't sound like your way's been working out too well.
From what I hear about your visit to Fort Mercer, neither's yours.
Well, that's why I'm out here chasing drunks with you.
Are you sure we're the Bollard twins, Eli?
Sure as shooting. I'd know those boys any place.
Are these the same rustlers who've been causing the McFarlands so much trouble?
If you want to avoid a rope around your neck, I'd advise you to stay on 2 feet around that ranch, Marston.
They rustle them one day and sell them in Thieves' Landing the next. They've been making more money than they can keep dry.
Drew's got enough problems without these bastards stealing his cattle. Why haven't you done anything, Marshal?
Look around you, boy. It ain't exactly difficult for a man to stay on the dodge out here, especially around Pike's Basin. That place is like a labyrinth.
A labby what?
A labyrinth, you idiot. Spelled D-U-M-B.
Settle down, boys. We're gonna need our wits about us. The Bollards have built up quite a posse.
Them Bollards have been swinging a wide loop for as long as I can remember.
You can barely remember getting up of a morning, Jonah.
You're the one who walked in all trembly from spreeing it in town half the night, Chubby. You're lucky it was only me caught you sleeping on the job, snoring like a choked bull he was, Marshal.
The people of Armadillo must sleep soundly in their beds just knowing that they've got you two to protect
Jonah,
them.
you drink so much whiskey, I can smell you coming 2 minutes before you get here.
Boys, please, never miss a good opportunity such as this to shut your mouths.
Let's go. Come on, come on.
I hear McFarland are like a hand in glove these days, Mr. Marston.
Nipping around her ankles like a pup that wants his mama, I hear.
And I hear you two've never been with a woman you haven't paid for.
No need to get your bristles up now. We's only asking, you know, man to man.
I'd take a good look at your own miserable lives before you start interfering in other people's.
She's a fine woman, that's all we're saying. I thought about dropping a rope on her myself more than once.
We need to buy you a mirror, Eli.
The prettier the girl, the worse coffee she makes, in my experience.
And what experience is that?
I have a wife and a child.
And does Bonnie McFarland know that?
She saved my life after I did something real dumb. And I'm gonna do what I can to help her in return. And that's as far as it goes.
All right, let's go. Stay together. How are the McFarlands, John?
They're holding on, but that ranch is in trouble.
Well, we dealt with the rustler problem.
For now, yes. But that ain't enough. They got greater forces working against them. Drew's a rancher, not a businessman.
Railroads, motor cars, telephones, opening a world of new opportunities, apparently. Try telling that to a farmer with no head for business, or a blacksmith whose customers can buy tools for half the price out of a Spaulding's catalog.
Giving a man too many options will make him unhappy. Taking too many away will force him to do things he shouldn't. It's wrong to assume change is always good.
Let's hit the breeze, boys.
What happened to that girl you was riding herd on a while back, Eli? You know, the one with the face like a dime bag of dog meat?
I ain't got no clue what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Fanny or Francis, whatever her name was. You should have seen this girl, Marston. Ugly enough to back a buzzard off a gut truck.
I can believe
Whoa,
it.
she was a good woman.
She was a strong woman, the kind you want around when your wagon's stuck, that's for sure.
She was better than that scrumpet from the saloon you was shacked up with.
Oh, for Christ's sake, shut up. We got a gang of murdering bandits on the loose, and you two are bickering about crap.
Marshal, I recognize some of those faces. I think they were Fort Mercer boys.
Williamson?
Could be. Come on, let's head for Mercer Station. Gil.
Your last visit to Fort Mercer didn't go too well, Marston. What were you thinking going up there by yourself?
I wasn't thinking. I was acting in pure anger.
You had about as much hope as a wax cat and tail for taking old Williamson and his boys alone.
I realize that now.
Bonnie said you looked like the backside of bad luck when she found you on the side of that road.
And I guess he should have killed me when he had the chance. So you're happy making your living by peddling shams to the poor and naive.
My dear boy, if I may be so bold, I'm not sure that you are best placed to comment on naivete.
What are you talking about, old man?
I am talking about your ill-timed visit to the port.
I was wondering when we'd get to that.
Well, that's why you're here, isn't it?
I already saved your life. I certainly don't owe you any more favors.
Like I say, John, nothing is free. I realize there are two sides to this transaction, and I think I'll be able to help you.
How?
Did you really think you'd be able to just stroll into Port Mercer? If my tonic is such a try to stay on the road.
Since I figure you're gonna make me drink it, what's in this miracle juice of yours anyway?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
Try it. See how that works out for you.
Dear, oh dear, so much rage, John. See, my elixir will calm that seething ire. Are you a drinking man?
I'm starting to wish I was.
The tonic will treat that too.
So it cures everything?
Everything but a woman's obstinacy. If my tonic is... the pursuit of science. It is indeed a thankless one.
What the hell do you know about science?
As much as any man, my boy. A pioneer has no precedence. I am bound only by the limits of my imagination.
A dream world, more like.
Your skepticism is both expected and welcome. I'm sure Isaac Newton had his fair share of doubters.
I don't know who the hell Isaac Newton is, but if he sold shit for money, you got him down perfect, you crazy quack. Who's this Moses feller again?
Bastard snake! A reminder why to never trust the living. The dead don't let you down.
So why'd you give him the map?
We was partners. He's got half of it, like I told you. The better half, I realize now. He's gonna find it and cut me out, I know it. I've done the same to him. I mean, I was gonna. Little piece of shit.
You must have been friends, if you put that much trust in him.
Friends? Hell no. I don't have none of those no more. But we both hated people the same, and that right there was bond enough. Exhuming's really heavy work, and it's easier. Two pairs of hands. We was gonna split the money. Except we both knew that would never happen. Greed, mister. There ain't nothing more enslaving. Makes leg irons like gold bracelets.
How do you know Wes Dickens?
Who?
That sneaking rat snake oil salesman who told me to find you.
Oh! Wes Dickens, you mean?
God help me. Yes, Wes Dickens.
He sold me some of that tonic of his once. Said it would help me sleep. Find some peace. What a crock of shit that was.
Did he also say it would give you a pecker like a horse, make you live forever?
I don't know what he told me. I can't listen to that blabbermouth. It's just noise to me, like the bleating of a lamb. He thinks I'm his friend, but I hate him.
Of course. I thought you hated everybody.
I do, and myself the most, partner. But at least I know what a waste of air I am. Wes Dickens can't even think without lying to himself, because he's too afraid. Me and him, we're both as sad a case as each other.
Maybe, Seth. Maybe.
Fly! Fly! Stop judging me!
What?
I see you looking at me, mocking and pitying and thinking you better.
I'm not looking at you. Get a hold of yourself.
It's the thinking, mister. That's what gets to me the most. Voices, signs, omens. One minute I'm walking down the street, the next I'm naked in a place I ain't ever seen before. I think I'm going crazy.
There's no going about it, my friend. You're out of your goddamn mind.
Sometimes I think none of us really exist. Or that I'm the only one who exists. Are you really here? Or am I a figment of your imagination?
I really hope we find this map. I'm not sure I can take much of this.
I'm so tired and hungry. I ate a crow a few days ago, but everything tastes just like that little piglet. The only thing I ever loved. You had to kill it, didn't you, Pa? You old bastard!
Whoa. You shouldn't be so quick to judge a man like Seth. He's just trying to find his way through life like everybody else.
He's chosen an unusual path.
None of us are saints, John. You see, this is the problem with society in the West. The world's changed, but we still cling to an outdated value system.
I'm not sure where rummaging through rotting corpses for gold fits into any value system.
See, this is why your jaded doggedness clashes with my resourceful optimism. You represent the old guard, my boy, while I am the new dawn. You must start to view life through a different lens. Why remain stuck in the sand when you can run along the beach?
Mercifully, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have always been the maverick, John. Unshackled by society's norms. A spiritual bohemian with a head for business. A transcendentalist, you might even say. I'm heavily influenced by the work of Waldo Emerson.
Another fool with his head in the clouds.
Are you telling me you can read? You continue to surprise me, John Marston.
A little. And why is that so surprising?
Well, you don't have what I'd call the classic appearance of a man of education.
I thought you were an open-minded bohemian.
Oh, but I am. I just... Well, never mind. So, where did you school?
School? Nowhere. The leader of the gang I was in, a fella called Dutch, taught us all how to read. Taught us there was a different way to live. He had a vision of the West becoming some kind of savage utopia, turning bad men into doers of good deeds. And for a while, we all believed him.
How deliciously quaint. And what happened to Butch the visionary?
Dutch. Just another dreamer who woke up, I suppose. After he realized humanity was never going to change, he lost faith in it. He spoke about as fine as you and was about as full of shit.
I really feel we're developing a bond here. Anyway, John, we must talk.
Hey.
I have to say, John, all this government interference, I'm not sure it's a good thing.
You're telling me?
Sometimes it makes me wish I'd chosen academia over business. Whatever happened to the notion of free trade? Voltaire would roll in his grave.
You speak French?
Mais comme oui. Listen, I'm not saying I don't admire our esteemed president's progressive stance, but all this regulation of business practices may prove, well, a little stifling for entrepreneurs such as myself.
It ain't something I know much about.
Oh, come now, John. I'd have thought you'd be particularly well-placed to comment on federal policy, given your insider knowledge.
Word sure travels fast around here.
That it does, my dear boy. And it is our job to make sure that the word spreading is the right word. Do you see now why I am so aggressive with my marketing techniques?
That's one way of putting it. It takes effort to sell nothing for something, I suppose.
Ah, but that's precisely the point, John. These days, you can sell anything. An idea, an inspiration.
A phony miracle tonic.
The sooner the people of this land realize they're not living in the Dark Ages anymore, the better. People in New Austin are still selling grain for a few cents at the local market. For hundreds of dollars on the floor of the stock exchange.
And you're talking like that's a good thing.
Just look at this scenery, John. Isn't it a delight?
Sure, a delight. You have a funny way of speaking, Wes Dickens. Where are you from, anyway?
I am international, John. A citizen of the world.
What does that mean?
Have you been to Paris?
No.
Have you been to London?
No.
Well, me neither, but those are my spiritual homes.
So, for my own sanity, let me try to narrow it down. Where did you grow up?
Why don't we just enjoy the view?
Come on, I'm interested.
Mostly in Fort Wayne, if I remember correctly.
Where?
Indiana.
Indiana? So why do you speak with that ridiculous accent?
Diction, John, I will not apologize for. And we were all British not so long ago.
Yeah, about 150 years ago.
I had a cosmopolitan upbringing. My mother worked in the arts, in the theater.
An actress?
Strictly speaking, no. She was more involved in the building maintenance side of things.
So, you're a maid's son from Indiana? That might just have made my day.
Well, that's an entirely unromantic way of looking at things, I must say. Why is everything so black and white for you? You need to start seeing life's color, my boy.
You're such a successful businessman, what are you doing living in a cave?
Delightful and Dickensian, isn't it?
If you say so.
Are you familiar with the concept of philanthropy, John?
I'm surprised you are.
Oh, I don't do any of this for myself, John. I hope you realize that.
You're crazy, old man. You seem to be forgetting that I've been part of your ridiculous charade.
Seeing a lame woman walk again. That's all the pay I need.
Why don't you give it away then?
But I have expenses to cover. My horses, my wagon, and the man must eat.
You certainly look like you eat.
So, are you ready for the race? John?
I can think of better uses for my time.
Better than making money? Oh, I don't think so. And from what I hear, you should be well practiced.
What do you mean?
A little bird told me you've been racing horses with that Bonnie McFarlane.
Sure.
Yes, a rather handsome young thing. Although I prefer a little more meat on the bone myself.
I'm sure you do.
I tried to sell some of the West Dickens tonic to the McFarlanes a couple of months back, but she ran me off the ranch. Decidedly unladylike, I must say.
My respect for that woman grows by the day.
Do you like women, John? Do you like women, John?
This better not be some kind of proposition.
I myself have always had a weakness for the fair and buxom. A girl who can set my loins ablaze.
A real cheap whore will do that to you.
Oh, I have no need for the ladies of the line. I have never been short on female attention.
Yeah, I'm sure your mama loved you.
Are you married, John?
Yeah, I got a wife waiting for me at home. Waiting someplace, at least.
Let me tell you something about women, John. After every amorous encounter, I creep out of the bedroom at the first dawn's light. You know why?
Because the drink's worn off and she's weeping in the corner.
No, because man is not meant to be shackled. Have you not read Darwin?
No, but I'm not sure that's what Darwin's saying.
Take my advice. Never let them get their claws into you.
You're a sad man, West Dickens.
It's been quite a ride. Don't you just love life?
Not right now, I don't.
Come, my dear boy, we must live for the moment.
You're in a good mood, considering half of New Austin wants to kill you.
There's no point in wallowing in misfortune. A heavy heart cannot sing, John.
Please tell me you're not going to
Oh,
sing.
my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Just shoot me now. Please, put me out of my misery.
Do you have children? Do you have children, John?
Yeah, I have a son. I had a daughter too, but she died. Do you?
I'm sure I have many. If you'll forgive my birthrightness, I have a prodigious seed. On account of the West Dickens elixir, that is. Virility is one of its many side effects.
I can't believe you're still trying to sell this shit to me. All your tonic does is send a man to the outhouse for 24 hours.
I have one son that I know of, but fate whisked away soon after his birth. His mother was making all sorts of unreasonable demands.
You're a true man of honor, West Dickens.
Don't talk.
I gotta find this map. I can't take much more of this. It's the only way I'll ever have peace.
Even if you find the map, it probably won't lead you to nothing.
Hobble your lip, mister! I don't even care no more. I'm imprisoned by my obsession. Like if I stop, I'll die. If I'm not already dead. For some people, it's opium. Others, the bottle. Me, this is my thing.
Do you even know what you're looking for?
Like I tell you. Nice try, partner. Old Seth ain't so stupid as that. My head hurts.
What do you want me to do about it?
I ain't slept in days, maybe weeks. Halfway between asleep and awake. Time passes but stands still. The stagnant pond of festering past and future.
That's real poetic for a man knee-deep in dead bodies.
You know what's worse than being crazy, mister? Knowing that you're crazy. I wish I were ignorant.
You don't seem too upset about your friends getting killed.
Life's too short for regrets. And I'd outgrown them fools. They both was getting increasingly unreliable. I was the brains of the operation, as you can imagine.
Yeah, it looked like you had everything perfectly under control back there.
They caught me off guard on that one occasion, on account of a little tipple I allowed myself earlier in the day.
So where's this gun of yours?
That's what we're about to find out.
Your pal West Dickens told me you had a machine gun.
I did. That was part of the disagreement you witnessed back there. Them double-crossing bastards lifted it from me.
It looked to me like they were the ones with the beat.
All water under the bridge now.
Not for now.
So how do you know that swindling charlatan West Dickens?
I made the mistake of saving his life. Getting to be a bad habit of mine.
I tried some of that tonic of his one time. Gave me the backdoor trots for weeks.
You're telling me?
Blows in on his wings, West Dickens does. That fella can tell yarns longer than a strumpet's dream.
The length of a conversation don't say nothing about the size of the intellect.
I'm with you there. There's nothing worse than a nobody who thinks he's a somebody.
Then what does that make you? Exactly.
The fella who'll put a window in your skull without a second's hesitation.
I'd advise you not to try that, friend.
Be careful, pal. What's stopping me from killing you? Not for now. The thieving bastards are holed up at the cabin. Are you a horrid man?
What?
Don't you play dumb now. I knows one when I sees him. It's in a man's eyes. I bet you've had a few doses of the old brothel sprouts in your time.
Don't judge everybody by your own standards.
Come off it. Who are you trying to kid? What, do you like the fellas or something?
I'm married.
And what's your point, Mr. Jesus of Nazareth? Listen, after all we've been through back there, I got a hankering for a good pulp and a drop of the old conversation flowing. What do you say, cowboy? Why don't we hightail it back to Armadillo and treat ourselves to a proper slice of the good life?
After you give me my machine gun, you can do whatever you want.
Not for now. I've been hearing things about you, John Marston.
Is that right?
About you trying to kill Bill Williamson? That you was a Curly outlaw back in the day.
I wouldn't believe everything you hear.
How did you get them scars then?
I cut myself shaving. Want me to show you just how it happened?
You talk like you're some hard case, but from what they tell me about Fort Mercer, you ain't nothing of the sort. No more savvy than a bull going through a fence, I hear.
I tried to do things the right way. It won't happen again. Why do you think I need a machine gun?
Maybe you've been out of the sport too long, me friend. Lost your edge. They tells me you spent the last few years pulling others instead of triggers.
People around here talk too much.
Sounds like you got afflicted with a terrible case of the terminally slow up there at the fort. Must have been slow if you let that crazy bastard Williamson get the better of you.
You'd have done it differently, huh?
Damn right I would. I can draw me piece faster than you can spit and holler howdy.
Well, you'll get the chance to prove it when we take on the fort together.
No, I mean, that's not so hasty there. I'm not the fellow who likes to interfere in business that ain't me own. Not fair now, Johnny. Johnny! Hey, Johnny boy!
That ain't my name.
Have you got a drop on you at all there? Something to wet our whistle on the journey?
Maybe you should have some water.
Never follow good whiskey with water unless you're out of good whiskey. That's what me ma always told me.
You better sober up real quick. This is your last chance to start remembering everything you keep conveniently forgetting.
It's when I'm sober you gotta worry, pal. Once I gets to trembling on the trigger, all kinds of accidents can happen.
Is that an attempt to threaten me?
Oh, you'll know when I'm threatening you, pal.
Why? Because I'll be laughing?
Best you shut that cock holster of yours, Johnny boy, or you can find this cursed gun by yourself. It ain't like I give a solitary damn about it.
Either you help me, or I'll put a bullet in your head and find somebody else who will.
All right. Just thought a little tipple might lighten the mood. Jesus.
Let's go.
How many men you killed, Johnny? I bet I killed more than you.
I don't know, but I'm very close to adding one more to the list.
You ever hear of Twinklefoot Dave?
No.
It was me who killed him. Drove him into the ground like a stake. Whining like a hair-lipped girl trying to whistle he was.
Congratulations. What do you want? A medal?
I'm just saying. You want to be paying me my respect. You're a stranger, and strangers should be mindful of who's offering them hospitality.
Or I could bust your head open, just so I can have a peep inside.
You think you pile it on pretty scary, but you don't. You're living in the past, old man. It's fellas like me running the show now.
Yeah, you look real successful, Irish. Even your shadow's got holes in it.
Best watch your mouth, Marston. Meanness don't happen overnight, you know.
You're about as mean as a box full of kittens.
Yep. That's all you do. There's a big difference between telling a man to get lost and making him do it, you know.
Shut up, Irish.
All right, will do. Where are you from, Johnny?
I live up in West Elizabeth.
No, I mean your family. Come on, folks here love to talk like they're from countries they can't even point to on a map.
My pa was Scottish. Died when I was just a boy.
Scottish? Well, that explains a lot. Christ, the only people I hate more than the Jocks are the bloody English.
A lot of people here would agree with you.
At least you got rid of the bastards. Wish I could say the same for me fair Isle.
Why'd you leave Ireland?
Same reason as every other feller. I got fed up of being poor and hungry. And I got caught poking me brother's wife, which he weren't too delighted with.
Just when I think you can't sink any lower, you go and prove me wrong.
These things happen. We was always a very close family, but evidently not as close as I thought. Anyways, I packed up me things and set sail for America.
This land of opportunity.
That's what they told me. And I heard all the fellers here had small peckers. I was right about one thing at least.
And that's where you met those deadbeats we killed in Armadillo? On the boat?
Welsh and French. Ah, yes, may they rest in peace. I was just a nipper, 14 or thereabouts. We had some fun on that journey, I can tell you. Not far now, Johnny. We should go around the...
It's never easy with you, is it?
There's a reason this place is called Thieves' Landing.
Good thing I had Shaky with me. I don't think I'd have made it out by myself.
He's a funny little bastard. It's always raining when you're talking to Shaky, that's for sure. Drinks like a warrior, though. He's a good pal of mine, that lad.
None of your friends seem to like you very much.
Jealousy. It eats a man up, it does.
Were you ever in the army?
No, sir. I was never in the army.
I thought as much. You have the air of a man who knows little loyalty, and this one.
You have the air of a man who's too hasty to jump to conclusions.
Do you have a problem with authority, Senor Marston?
If you were in the position I am, you'd have a problem with it too.
Do you even believe in God?
I don't believe in much right now. I'm just here to capture 2 men, like I told you.
Well, believe this. I am the army, and I am the governor. If you want to hunt Alos, I will let you. Kill them all. You will be doing me a favor. But in this province, in Nuevo Paradiso, you will obey my command.
I thought Colonel Olinde was in charge. Ain't you just a captain?
When Allende is not here, I'm in charge. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I think I got it now.
When I put on this uniform, I swore I set it up to protect the country I love. And I will protect her from threats external and internal. I will fight to my last breath to stop this rebellion. One day soon, I will be a general.
Good for you.
Be very careful, gringo. Do as I say, or your time in Mexico will be short and painful. Do you hear me?
Oh, I hear you, General.
Do you speak Spanish?
Only the bad words. So long as I know when someone's calling me a son of a bitch, that's enough for me.
You Americans are all the same. You wish to colonize the world, but you won't learn anyone's language.
I think you got us mixed up with the British.
Well, I have nothing mixed up, Senor Marston. I'm an educated man, far more educated than you, I am sure.
I have no doubt.
Like a piece of meat to a hungry dog, you tempt our workers to your country with your filthy dollars. And even if they return to Mexico, they spend those dollars on American products. It is clear to me what your government is trying to do.
Believe me, there ain't much you can say about my government I won't agree with you on.
I come from a family of soldiers, generations of brave men. My parents made me learn English, told me it would put the world in my hands. But I resented them for it. My world is Mexico. I have no use for your passionate language.
It's kind of coming in handy right now, ain't it?
6 years of reciting verbs to a smelly old woman from Milwaukee, just so that I could communicate with American bounty hunters. Yes, it was well worth the effort. Since you can never keep.
It takes more than a few promises to build an army.
Reyes wants power, nothing else. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. He's prepared to destroy everything my compatriots have fought and died for, just to hear people shout his name.
When are you gonna give me Williamson and Escuela? I'm running out of patience.
We gave you our word. That is enough. We're almost certainly in the protection of the rebels, and we're on our way to kill rebels right now.
I didn't come here to kill your people.
Now you're a bounty hunter who does not like killing? Maybe that is why your Alos keep escaping from you.
These men and women are farmers, not soldiers.
Farmers with guns who are trying to bring this country to its knees. Come, compadre. This is about time for you to become a coward and a hypocrite. If somebody hits you, you hit them back harder. We must retaliate. Weakness is not an option.
All right, I get the picture.
How was your childhood, Senor Marston?
What's that got to do with anything?
Were your parents strict?
Both of them died when I was just a boy.
That explains a lot. My father beat me all the time, called me a girl.
That also explains a lot.
I hate him for it, but it made me who I am. Sometimes we must be brutal to be kind. It is what men do. We must hurry. It is sad that an American is prepared to do more for Mexico than many of its own people.
Like I keep telling everyone, I ain't here to take sides.
Do you love your country? Are you a patriot?
Not particularly, but I'm guessing you are.
My friend, I bleed red, white, and green. I love my God and country before I love myself. These rebels, they fight because they're selfish. They have lost their patriotism, and it disgusts me.
Maybe they consider themselves patriots too.
You understand nothing of this war, do you?
I never said I did.
Giving your life for your country, that is the ultimate act of patriotism. Giving your life against your country is sin, the worst form of treason.
Being a patriot doesn't mean just accepting everything your government tells you or supporting your leaders no matter what they do. That's just stupidity.
This foolishness is precisely why every day, thank God I'm not American. My men left.
How many of these freedom fighters do you think we'll have to kill this time?
Freedom? These men do not fight for freedom.
In their minds they do.
Santo, do you really believe they would be more free without laws, more also discipline, without God? That isn't freedom, Senor Marston. It's anarchy.
Maybe they've just had enough of being told how to live their lives.
There must be rules. Otherwise, there's anarchy. That is like you, a bounty hunter who thinks he can take the law into his own hands. Do not make the mistake of confusing lawlessness with freedom.
The same bounty hunter you're using to kill your own people.
That is enforcing laws, not breaking them. For a man of your advanced years, you really have acquired little in the way of wisdom. Freedom is nothing but a vague idea that men keep trying to define. But you cannot fight for freedom, amigo. That is as stupid as fighting for happiness. They mean nothing.
All right. Why don't we leave it there?
We must hurry. The rebels are growing in numbers by the day. This is what happens when people lose their faith in God.
Maybe they just lost their faith in Allende.
That is the same thing.
So you're saying Allende is God? You really are a loyal little lapdog.
Treason is the glove that the hand of heresy wears, Senor Marston. There's not one without the other. How can you expect loyalty without faith? These peasants have turned their back on their country.
Faith's a lot to ask when you don't see nothing in return.
We don't ask the people to love us, just to believe in why we must do things a certain way. It isn't easy to live a pure life, to resist temptation. It isn't supposed to be easy. But when I go to sleep each night, I know I'm free of sin.
This is from a man on his way to slaughter a bunch of farmers.
War is not a sin. Far from it. The Spanish, the French, the Americans, they all tried to steal our country. But in the end, we always win, because we have God on our side.
If yours is a life without sin, Captain, there's hope for all of us.
My men...
Are you all right?
Just a bit of pain in the knees. Damn horse. It's a terrible thing, you know, getting old. One day you catch a glimpse of yourself, and you ain't the same person no more. Your looks have gone, your back hurts, and your pecker isn't working like it's supposed to. See, the problem with old age is, just when you start to understand life, you're too long in the... There they are. You must miss your family.
It's the only thing that keeps me going.
You know, you remind me a lot of myself. How I used to be. Stubborn and angry.
You ain't changed all that much.
I always thought I'd lived a charmed life. I've known wealth, respect, love, even fame. I never read a book or done a day's work. But I had everything a man could want. But now that I'm here, I don't know. Do you have a son?
I do. Called Jack. Another stubborn and angry young fella.
I think that's my only regret, not having children. I mean, I'm sure there's a few brothel boys out there with my blood in their veins, but not a real son. The Ricketts name will go to the grave with me. All I'll be leaving behind is other dead bodies.
You can still be a father.
No, not now. Too late for me. But you still have the time.
I hope so, sir. I really do. Do you think you'll ever go back?
Where?
Home. To America.
No, not now. The West I knew is dying. If it's not dead already, I don't belong there anymore.
I'm not sure I do neither.
The suits always loved to talk about the lawless frontier. But there were laws,
Laws that people understood. If you had a disagreement, you settle it like a gentleman at 40 paces. When you shook hands, your word was as binding as a hangman's knot. I always used to say the only substitute for good manners is fast reflexes. There was respect and honor once, but not anymore. Money and politics poisoned all that.
There's only so long you can live by a code nobody else lives by. I learned that the hard way.
Do you know there are Wild West shows in New York City now? Some fella even told me there's a Landon Ricketts show. Can you believe that? I'm not even dead, and I've already been turned into a circus attraction.
I hope it's more exciting than the real thing.
Don't forget what I told you about good manners, my friend.
What do you do when you are not killing men in Mexico, Mr. Marston?
I have a farm.
A farm?
Yeah. People seem to have a hard time believing that.
So you know how important it is for a man to have the right to work his own land.
I sure do.
Allende takes the land from the peasants and sells it to the aristocratas. Anybody who tries to complain is beaten or killed. Then the peasants are forced to work the same land for no money.
Over the border in New Austin, where I just came from, they're struggling too. Not like here, but the way of life is still dying. Soon all the land will belong to the government, church, or big businesses. And I ain't sure which one of them is worse.
You must see then why the people have to unite and make a stand. Why revolution is necessary.
Here, maybe it can still work. I doubt it, but I don't know the place. But there I know. And there ain't no revolution coming anytime soon. I'm too old to be fighting battles I can't win.
You Americans have lost the fire in your stomach. It has been too long since you went hungry.
So what do you do when you're not killing men in Mexico?
I am training to be a teacher. I want to help young people, peasants like me, to have a better life. Can you read?
I read a little.
My father always told me to think for myself. That just because we are poor does not mean we are stupid. I learned to read, to write, and I even taught myself English.
He raised you well.
For too long, the people of Perdido have had their noses in dirt instead of books. I want to change that.
We must hurry! We cannot allow the Santa to murder more of our people!
Don't worry! He won't get away this time!
You must hate him as much as we do for what he did to you in Chuparrosa!
He's hardly worth hating! I just want to collect what he owes me!
What a coward he is! He only likes to kill when a man is on his knees!
He likes to do a lot of things to men on their knees!
That is also true! Well, now I hope you will have your revenge!
I need him alive! He's got information on the men I'm looking for.
And when you have the information?
Then he's all yours.
Allende is nothing more than a perrito for General Sanchez.
A what?
A little puppy dog that licks his feet and makes him feel loved. If he asked Allende to eat the shit out of his culo, Allende would do it.
That's a loyal dog.
Sanchez isn't stupid. He knows the only way to keep power is to control the countryside, the peasants. And for that, he needs vicious idiots like Allende.
He's certainly vicious.
Allende came from poverty, and look now at how he treats the poor.
It's strange, all right. Allende's a peasant who wants to be a nobleman, and you're a nobleman who wants to be a peasant.
Have you ever had the feeling that you are living history, John?
Ain't we all living history?
From a little boy, I always knew I was destined for greatness. My nursemaid used to tell me, Abraham, one day, everybody will know you.
Good for you.
First, Allende will fall. Then I will march on the capital for Sanchez. Where do you live in America, John?
I have a small place up in West Elizabeth. You been?
No, but I have heard of it. That is where Blackwater is, the town with motor cars and moving pictures, a different world.
It is that, but we ain't too near there.
Most people here have never even seen electricity. Many of my brothers have crossed that border in search of a better life.
I ain't sure they're gonna find one.
Me, I could never live in America. The Mexicans and the Americans se parecen como un huevo en una castaña. They are like an egg and a chestnut.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe you should learn Spanish then. What I mean is, we are too different.
We ain't so different. Just because somebody draws a line in the ground doesn't mean people on either side of it ain't the same.
You Americans lack passion, John. You barely see and hear things. Here we use all our senses. We smell, we taste, we touch.
From what I've seen so far, you definitely like to touch.
Mexico, lindo y querido, it is in my soul.
Tell me, Mr. Marston, you might not agree with our methods, but there must be a certain satisfaction in seeing retribution finally realized. I feel that we have merely escalated the inevitable.
Speak English, old chap.
Forgive me. Sometimes I forget I'm in the presence of an imbecile. I mean, Rubens, Escuela, Vanderlyn all betrayed you. Doesn't it feel good to be making amends?
If I'd wanted to kill them, I'd have done it already.
Didn't they leave you for dead?
How do you know all this?
We know more about you than you do.
I guess I always knew it wasn't over. I sure as hell didn't expect you assholes to be involved.
We are involved in everything.
I know. The government got its nose in everyone's business these days.
Oh, don't give me that. We was doing just fine out here before you came. Horseshit. Do you want to live like peasants forever? Incomplete lawlessness? The government stepped in not a moment too soon. People are safer, richer, and healthier now. Business is booming, not to mention education. I'd have thought an illiterate orphan like you would appreciate that, at least.
Also, our children can grow up to be just like you.
If our children grow up at all, Mr. Marston. Soon you will be able to start a new life together absolved of all your sins. I can think of far more upsetting alternatives.
You ain't God.
In your case, Mr. Marston, it turns out I am.
Who the hell are you fellers anyway? Lawmen or army?
We are neither, Mr. Marston.
But I have the authority over both.
You bastards can't ever give a straight answer, can you?
Let's just say our bureau is tasked with the work of special interest to Washington. Work that requires a little more skill and finesse.
Like stealing people's land and kidnapping women and children?
The West has been lawless too long. Local hick in a badge is all well and good for dealing with drunks in the saloon. But more serious matters requires firmer hand.
Soldiers in suits.
Something like that.
I still don't see why the government gives a damn what me and Dutch did 10 years ago. Place was hardly a country then.
You rob banks, Mr. Marston. What is of greater interest to the government than money? Civilization is coming to the West. We will clear out the dead wood.
So, tell me, Nastas, can you offer any further insight into Vanderlyn's modus operandi? Oh dear, what am I thinking? Forgive me! Have you seen what the white man is doing in the mountains?
I understood you the first time.
I didn't.
He has been rounding up young men, promising them freedom and a return to their lands. Many are angry and desperate enough to believe him.
Sounds familiar.
Ah, yes, Mr. Marston. It's all coming back to me now. Weren't there some similar ideals tangled up in your story?
Dutch was always fighting to change something, but nothing ever changed. People just died. Maybe that's what sent him crazy.
My word, this just keeps getting better. You see, this is what I came to the West for. Tales of noble, misguided outlaws trying to twist wrong into right. I'd pay $1 for your dime novel, Mr. Marston. Let me tell you.
Vanderlyn says he's helping my people, but they don't see what he's turning them into. There's no truth in it, just hate and violence.
Oh, Nastas, my dear, sweet Nastas. Surely you can't be hypothesizing it is Vanderlyn who has turned them savage rather than the other way around.
That sounds about right to me.
What an intriguing notion. Utterly absurd, of course, but I love a good chicken and egg conundrum. I will enjoy wrestling with that one in the small hours. Yes, I will. I'm actually a little nervous, I have to say. A touch of the old jitters.
No kid.
It's no small relief to have the two of you along with me. Especially you, Nastas. You really have made remarkable progress in the short time I've known you.
I'm glad you have found it useful.
I've always been a little afraid of savages, if I'm honest. But your mastery of basic English and openness to rational discussion is nothing short of reassuring.
You see, all those years of research were worth it.
Isn't it fascinating? I've actually noticed that your skull is very Caucasian in form. I must have a prod around it at some time.
I'd rather you didn't.
So many questions. Have humans evolved into competing subspecies? Why is the white man civilized more quickly? Why does the Stasia dance for rain and sacrifice deer to a myriad of false idols?
You're starting to offend me, old man.
No deer sacrifices, then? I must make a note of it.
Why don't you try breathing instead of talking for a while?
I feel so alive! I'll make emeritus over this. I'll show that windbag Fortescue.
You sure you're all right, McDougal?
Never better! Are you familiar with the art of anthropology, Mr. Marston? Or should I say science?
Trying to figure out why one man acts differently from the next? Don't see much point in it if you ask me.
Ah, but it's far more than that. You sound like my ape of a father. An argument against evolution if ever there was one. Get a real profession, Harold. No, anthropology is the bridge between science and culture. The discovery of who we are.
So who are we?
Well, I don't know. That's what we're trying to discover. I change my mind on the matter daily.
And somebody pays you to do this?
Of course they do. I'm an academic. Or they did, at least. I'm enjoying a little imposed professional hiatus right now, dipping into the old inheritance.
Also, you can find out me and Nostos are the same after all.
And well, you might be. That's the beauty of this field. It's endlessly inconclusive. It's a bear!
You did so well last time, we thought it only fair to let you man the machine gun. That thing's killed more natives than the Ponce.
I can't wait to kill you two bastards.
Mr. Marston, dear, oh dear. One day you'll look back on this and realize that it all made sense.
There ain't none of this that makes sense.
The world is a different place. We have to think differently. Realize together we are strong. Just look at what we're doing here. Army, police, government, working as one.
So why do you need me?
Because you are going to kill Vanderlyn.
Why does it matter?
It matters a great deal. Justice must be served more wisely. What should we do with a criminal like you? How do we make you pay your debt to society? Why waste a good man when we can send a bad man to do the same work? Retributive atonement, I like to call it. It's ingenious.
It's ingenious until I shoot you in the head.
Whatever you say, old boy.
Paul, was it something to do with Mr. Dutch and Bill? Why you went away?
Who told you that?
I kept hearing people say their names. That's all.
Yeah, I caught up with Bill and Dutch. We had some old business needed settling.
Where are they now?
They're gone, son. We won't be seeing them again.
They were angry at you, weren't they? That's why we had to leave.
They was just good men who turned bad. I'll explain it to you one day.
And what does that make you?
I guess I'm a bad man who tried to be a good father. I don't know. Every man has a right to change. A chance of forgiveness. Ain't that what the good book says?
You've never read me the good book, sir.
Well, I imagine that's what it says. So, you ready to learn about herding cattle?
I've never seen you herd anything, Paul. Apart from the odd pack of drunks.
The McFarlands were good to me, and I helped them out in return. I learned a few things along the way. Wait till you see their ranch. It's what ours will be one day.
I read in the newspaper their ranching's dead. Soon it'll just be factories and businesses around here.
You shouldn't believe everything you read.
I was thinking, maybe I might be a businessman.
I thought you wanted to be a writer.
Well, I could be both. A rich industrialist who writes novels about the Old West on the side.
You can be whatever you want, son, but for now, let's concentrate on getting some food on the table. Unless you're planning on striking literary gold in the next day or two, that is.
So, now that Abigail and the boy ain't around, tell me what really happened.
What happened when?
With Bill and Dutch.
They're dead. That's all I know.
Kind of a shame, you know. I always liked those fellers.
You barely knew
them. Too. They liked having me around. It was you who had the beef with them, not me.
They liked watching you fall over. That's as far as it went. And you was only around when the whiskey was open and they wanted women.
You got a short memory, John.
This is from the man who can't remember waking up this morning.
Well, at least we knew how to have some fun back then. Take it out on me. You've been full of piss and vinegar ever since you got back.
My wife and child were kidnapped. I was made to kill God knows how many men for a government I can't stand. All while you ran my ranch into the ground. Sorry if I ain't showering you with kindness.
What? You think you're the stud duck in the pond now Dutch is dead, do you?
Shut your mouth, old man, or I swear I'll shut it for you.
Don't act like no hard case. It don't suit you. I don't owe you no favors.
Pull your weight. That's all I'm saying.
I could have stayed with them, you know.
Me and Abigail was the only ones who looked out for you. Nobody else gave a damn. You'd have been dead within a month.
Look at these here horses. Fine as cream gravy. It sure will be nice to have some money in our pocket.
Any money we make's going straight back into this ranch, not down your gullet.
Oh, come on. I ain't working for free here.
You ain't working at all. That's the problem, old man.
What about today? And all them cattle I herded. I'm always sucking hind tit around here.
You got food in your belly, ain't you? A roof over your head?
You're so tight. You get out of bed to turn over so as not to wear out the sheets.
Don't push your luck.
A little bottle wouldn't hurt, though. Something to ease an old man's aches and pains.
This is why they say you should never hire the people you drink with.